In our third story that was in USA Today and on ABC World News, we talked about emotional health, physical health, and healthy behaviors, and how those all equal up to create energy for people. We focused particularly on women, and particularly on women in the 45 to 55 age category. What's interesting about this group is that if you look at this over all ages, we see that emotional health actually hits its lowest point in this particular 45 to 55 age bracket of women. That's certainly some of the bad news. Physical health actually declines throughout life, and so while this age group is not the worst, older age groups are worse yet, there's still certainly significant decline during this age. However, we do see healthy behaviors actually beginning to increase in this age bracket. And we see this partly because as women become stable in their lives, they have the opportunity, the energy, the time to actually begin taking better care of themselves again. And so that's very important. There's other issues that we look at as well in terms of emotional health. For instance, compared with men, more women experience each of the measures that we look at for emotional health. These are measures such as worry, stress, sadness, and depression. In fact, the percentage of women who reported depression is 1.8 times higher than it is with men, and the percentage of women that report sadness is 1.4 times higher than it is with men. So there's a significant gender difference here, particularly in this age group. In fact, we find that women peak in their worry and sadness in the ages 45 to 55, and that over 20% of women in that age group actually have 3 to 4 emotional risk factors. So this is a very significant concern for us. Depression is certainly higher too and accelerates into the older ages. We also are looking at things like the prevalence of emotional health issues. And what we find is that there's a relationship between them and exercise. In fact, the more that a woman exercises, up to 6 days a week, the lower their incidence of emotional health issues. However, interestingly, we found that women that actually exercise 7 days a week actually saw some acceleration over women who kept it in the 3 to 6 days a week bracket. And of course, we all know that in exercise, it is recommended that you do have rest and recovery periods. So maybe some of this is explained here. Other behaviors that we've looked at are, for instance, things like emotional health and how women eat. Women with more emotional health issues exercise and eat recommended servings of fruits and vegetables less often. Smoking is another variable we look at. Smoking increases and healthful eating decreases with the deterioration of emotional health. Looking at chronic disease burden, we also look at things like diabetes and hypertension and obesity, and we look at that with women with emotional issues, and there's a high correlation. There's, in fact, a steep incline for the 9% of women who suffer from all 4 of those risk factors. So again, a very significant concern and correlation between physical health and emotional health. Rest is another area that's very interesting. Women consistently feel less rested and have less energy than do men. In terms of what we can do about this, certainly you can see from the behavioral perspective that there's a number of actions that women can take. Certainly moderate exercise is one of them, following the eating guidelines and eating appropriately, trying to restructure their day so that they effectively can get the proper amount of sleep and rest, not smoking if they are in fact a smoker at present, and doing other activities that improve their control of their stress. These can be things like better social time with friends and family, taking time to spend exercising with others, actually taking some time for yourself and getting away and doing things that you enjoy doing, a variety of activities that many women find difficult to do in this age bracket, but that are really valuable to them and their overall health.